Sometimes when I look at our fathers, I weep, because at their age, they are still more on fire than us. You see that these men are literally old, but something is burning in them that they wish they had 1,000 tongues to speak it. I'm watching Bishop David Oyedepo, and he's talking. He doesn't even know how to. The thing is so strong, and you know that this man is on flames. And then you find a young man whose glory is his strength, is weak and lukewarm. I was talking to his secretary the other time. They left Dunamis around 9. They said they were going back to the office. He said the night is still young. How can the night be young around 9? People are leaving office 1 a.m. They are returning for early morning prayers by 5. 4 hours sleep is so much. And then a young man goes to bed. He sleeps from 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. He wakes up. He says, we will take our word. Which word? Those who rule don't sleep. They are awake when you are sleeping. That's why they are ahead of you. But it takes fire to be awake. This is not just discipline. This is something raging on your inside that you cannot contain. Kingdom puts a lot of demand on us. And for us to meet up the demands of the kingdom, we must burn. We must burn. Having said this, what is fire? Because fire is not excitement. Fire is not youthful exuberance. Fire is not a pot. When you find a man who is on fire, the love of God wells up on his inside, and he desires him daily. The Bible said, as the deer panted after the waters, it says, so my soul longeth, not after preaching, after you, my soul. Your soul is in a constant pursuit of God and his presence. When you begin to desire God above all, when a hunger is sustained in your spirit for God, know that you are on fire for God. In John 2:17, Jesus speaking, he said, the zeal of my Father's house. He wants to interact with the presence constantly. He said, that zeal has consumed me. We are in a generation where people love everything but God. They can watch movies every day for 10 hours. But when you say, let's talk to God, 5 minutes, they are tired. And so even our vigils today, we have to augment it with drama. We have to augment it with dancing and playing so that we manage time. But the fathers of old, if they say vigil, they start praying from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. because they are engaging God, and they had sufficient stamina to remain there. I'm not saying we should not do other things in vigil. There are many channels to God's presence. But what I'm saying is, if what we do is to detract us from our weakness because we have no stamina, then something is wrong. When was the last time you prayed alone all night? Not because you are going to preach somewhere. Not because you are going for a conference. Not because you needed to pray for the sick. You just prayed all night because you know that it was a desire that woke you up. You stayed there and focused. He said, kiss me with the kisses of thy mouth. He said, thy love is better than wine. Songs of Solomon chapter 1 verse 2. Thy love is better than wine. He said, because of the savory ointment of thy name. He said, the virgins love you. We will not remember the tales of the wine, but we will keep in mind that we have come to the bedchamber of our loved one. This is the kind of intensity that men carry. People love fame. Forget that somebody is on a mountain praying in tongues. Go and check the content of the prayer. Lord, me too, I must shine. So what is powering that prayer is jealousy, is envy. How can Matthew like this be making impact and I am here? If that is what's driving you, you don't have fire. That's a strange fire. Oh, Lord, I must make it this year. I must make it this year. Why will I still be like this? Look at where my mates are. Some of your mates are in the grave. I must make it this. That's not what pursues us. The power that drives us is more of you. More of you. More of you. More of you. If that becomes the substance of your spiritual passion, know that your fire is genuine. So fire is passion for God. If you have no passion for God, you don't have the fire of God. Number two, what is spiritual fire? Spiritual fire is the power for witness. When a man is on fire, he's a soul winner. You cannot claim you are on fire and you are not fruitful. You are not productive. The moment the fire came upon the disciples in Acts chapter 2 verse 1 and 2, we saw in verse 37 that they won 3,000 souls. We saw in Acts 4 verse 4 that they won 5,000 souls. And the fire spread into the camp. individuals began to win cities. What kind of fire is it that we have now that we only manifest when we are leading prayer? When you come to the prayer meeting, people are not even praying. But when you give somebody the microphone, it's koporo, hahuku, hupa, hupa, and then we are doing all kinds of posture and all kinds of drama. But there is no appetite for soul. If you are on fire, you will pick the heartbeat of God. And the heartbeat of God is to win everyone to the kingdom. The Father does not desire that any should perish. He desires that all should be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth. And so the moment a man catches fire, he is everywhere winning souls. This was the pattern that Jesus presented to us. In Matthew chapter 8 verse 1 to 5, we saw Jesus. The Bible said he went to every city and every village. Not one, every city and every village, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, that by all means men will be saved. And so if you are looking for biblical definition of fire, number one is passion for God. Number two is passion for souls. And number three, biblical definition and expression for fire is the flame of purity.